And 2, defy the laws of tradition. Luminaughts. Here's the illuminaries over the patches of shade that have been found for resting in this wake of composures on and within the lake of consensus. XYZ, PDQ. Assumptions secondary, delusions primary, intuitions intermediary. I have come to realize something important about myself, and wonder if there are any out there whom identify similarly about one of how it relates. What I've come to realize is this. I am not the same person in relative personal proximity with others than I am socially and physiologically distanced by relativity. When people yammer about the illusion of separation and depravity, this lucrative soul through vessel pipes up to remind others that the placebo of this illusion is actually an intermittent reality to many of those immersed in this superstition. Perhaps that came about as a manipulative ploy to defend the individualities of a consensus from the stark reality of their own fear of those experiencing this depravity and physiological separation, as a mechanism of self-defense, as though being alone is a threat to them. And perhaps the real illusion is this consensus of individuals actually cares for those they fear landing themselves in similar boat of becoming. One may, as might add here, the conception of calling forth what you will from a place of fear within the guise of love. A hate from this discernment that may suffocate joy from care of pain to bliss, may be in pride of what to do about any anger of jealousy, of jealousies learned from regret. The supernatural fires of envy may be attracting through oblivious individuals unaware of who they actually are when in one of these 3 states of experiential being. As in, who are you when relatively alone? Who are you in personal, localized company? And let's call on honesty here now. Who are you in the virtual intermediary friend zone or otherwise of presentation and interaction through these ectoplasmic gates of virtual social interactivity via the medium of smart devices and such? Let's be real. We are other than living in a dichotomy here, as we have this relationship with a very real virtual God, so to speak, through this online presence. From one's sense of center source within the digitized whole entirety of each participal way, you and I? Really, not just think about it, untanglers, how does this make you feel? You and I, we are no longer prone to experiencing a split personality. To be wholly transparent, we are now solidly prone to being a triplicity in the cults of personality. Sociologically, in all honesty, to do well by ourselves, we may need to accept we are no longer who we think and feel we know we are from one designation of these 3 or more to another. All one basking in this fiery inferno of a reboot of Babylonian language models, during the divide and conquer, luring us into realms of non-personalizing virtual experience of what we acknowledge to untangle, not through what we may be being formally enforcing and or disguising, of what is being accepted by each individual invariably as God, the participle, and the way. Perhaps there is a 4th personality, in perspective, being painfully birthed or otherwise of ourselves in the masses. XYZ, PDQ. So, again and again, call forth what you will of this. Are you quick to judge? Like it or not, untangle? No. Wussy pimp to comment. Subscribe to a share of your discernment of pleased to be pleased, if you like. Maybe this is what could be understood to be comprehending what it may be to be of the 444. The 444. And 2, defy the laws of tradition.